明日で決めたり派手なミニを探したりビルの壁にボーイほら好奇心が待ち伏せハートを
Welcome, Redleaf for Retrocast Anime, episode 146. Tori, just you and me today. No Hickey,
yes,
the lawyer,
is.
The other anime podcaster, the Brazilian with no internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in my headcanon, the way you told the story to me was they found out he's a lawyer and an anime podcaster. Like, fuck this guy. We're going to cut his internet.
Yeah, pretty much. Can't see any other reason why they were doing that. It has to be like that, yeah. Can't have been like an accident or anything like that. It can't have been somebody being, doing a major fuck up their, doing their job or anything like that. It definitely has to be a targeted attack against such a well-known person in the community, in the world, really.
Absolutely.
For both of his jobs as a lawyer and an anime podcaster. There can't be anyone who doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, the donations just fly in, but they only fly his way because he's the lawyer and he somehow, finagled all of the money his way. And these people that were working construction around his place thought that is not fair to the American and the Norwegian. They are suppressed people compared to this Brazilian.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely, yeah, not totally. 100%.
I mean, you and I live very hard lives compared to...
Oh, true.
Compared to Mr.
True.
Lawyer down there.
In
the jungle. He's got his own...
jungle.
I picture Hickey right outside Rio de Janeiro. Not where he actually told us where he lives. That's probably a lie. Most definitely. And his, winter home is in the Amazon where he said, fuck nature, cut out many acres of land and built his own house. And then these people found him and said, we're going to pretend to be incompetent. Not once, but twice. Because if you do it twice, then you can't question this targeted attack. I have figured this out.
Yeah, no.
What, you poking holes in my theoretical story here?
Not at all. I can't. There are no holes.
That's right. As a geological engineer,
any holes.
My higher brain functionality has really cracked the code on this one.
I was about to say it's more watertight than your tub.
Oh, no. Okay. Yes, that is true. That is absolutely true. My bathroom tub is not watertight, unlike my story. Water is underneath the tub now. Of cracking the seal, okay, and underneath, usually in this century, people have the tub units and the wall and the shower and everything. Not mine. Because I bought a place of antiqueness, I like to say. And there is a cast iron tub underneath all this from, I think, 1941. There's a copper plate that you can tell on the side of the tub there. So, I bet you wish you had a tub that old, Tori.
No, I do not.
Absolutely, I can hear it in your voice. Okay. So on this episode, we are finishing all of City Hunter. Have we watched more City Hunter than probably any other show on this podcast? Maybe. Just maybe.
Potentially.
Let's see,
We're technically not done either, because, there's the spin-off.
There's the spin-off of Angel Heart, which we'll be covering. My picks have only been City Hunter for 2023.
I mean, that's you chose it. So
I sure did. I'm like, we're doing this. We're committed. Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
I did was
City Hunter equal.
All I did was ask if we were going to continue City Hunter because it had been a while, and suddenly we're finishing all of it.
I know too much about you. Are you still gonna kill me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, computer restarted, Tori. Let's see if this works better this time.
Way.
Okay.
I mean, so far so good. So it's nice. It's nice being able to. Yeah, it's nice when you're podcasting. It's kind of nice to be able to hear what the other guy's saying. It kind of sucks, trying to podcast with someone when you hear that guy say like 3 words and then he cuts out and then he comes back after 10 seconds. It's like, yeah. So, did you get any of that? No, I did not.
See, you got to use your context clues and solve the mystery as we're talking.
My context clues of hearing the first few words and then missing like 3 sentences, yes.
Okay. Well, now that that's ready, on this episode, City Hunter 91, and then we will be done with all of City Hunter. How many episodes is that in total? I think it's... what was the first season, 50?
50, I think, so right?
So 50 plus 63
like
plus 13 plus 13, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
139 episodes of City Hunter. We will have covered.
Without fact checking, that does sound very right.
Incredible. You will, I guarantee, you will not find another anime podcast that has done 139 episodes of City Hunter reviews.
And then we do a quick Google search and there's a City Hunter dedicated podcast.
There. All right, hold on. Spotify.
No, I doubt there would be, but it would be funny.
I gotta fact check this in real time. So we do have short seasonal reviews from the winter 2023 season. So I'm gonna do City Hunter review.
You know what? There is in fact a City Hunter podcast. The more you know.
I mean, the first result that comes up is Red Leaf Retrocast anime episode. Actually, it's 141, specifically City Hunter 2 episodes 27 through 63.
Nice.
Oh my God, you were right. Mocha Replay, a City Hunter podcast. Replay. What?
So they're going through episode by episode. Damn.
Holy shit. When was their last episode? Monday? They're still going.
70. Damn. All right.
We stand corrected. There is indeed an anime podcast better than us at City Hunter coverage.
Well, I mean, I haven't listened to their podcast, but yeah, they're very in depth with that apparently. So, episode by episode.
Yeah,
I don't see
like the literally the podcast episodes are longer than the actual episodes of the City Hunter.
Yeah, I don't quite see the point in doing that, but you know what? Whatever. If it works, it works.
Discussing season 2, episode 18, and it's almost an hour.
That's a lot to discuss.
Japan has gladly harbored a dictator for some reason. Both Ryu and Umibozu are pretty cold-blooded today.
Hell yeah.
All right, this podcast is being followed immediately. Mars Girl and Josh Knight the First.
The amount of weird podcasts that are out there. Like those fucking weirdos over at Red Leaf Retrocast.
This is phenomenal. I bet you didn't know you needed an entire podcast dedicated to absolutely nothing other than the manga and anime series City Hunter. There is so much City Hunter content to discuss. Mars Girl and Josh Knight the First decided to tell you about it. Follow along as we cover every episode, movie, and spin-off related to Tsukasa Hojo's massively popular manga. Did you understand the pun about replay in the title of our show? Clever, eh? Ooh. Oh, man.
I like it.
Let's see. There's a bunch of Hunter x Hunter podcasts that came up. That's not surprising.
That does not surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The following that show has.
All right, so we are the second best podcast that covers City Hunter and all of its contents.
And all of its content. Hey, I mean, to be fair, we're actually technically we would be the best because we're actually finishing up and they aren't done yet. So I'm just saying,
you know what?
We're way more efficient.
Efficiency is an engineer's main objective. So I agree, Tori. You know what? We are the best. Screw them. They're doing every episode. The episodes are only like 20, 25 minutes. They're doing like an hour over one thing. Probably discussing the cultural aspect of each and every episode. No. Inefficient.
Nah. Yeah. Nah. Why do that when you can instead be like, I watched this show and I think it's good and or bad. Tune in next time for more insightful commentary.
I think at this point, with how much City Hunter we've covered, at least I'm at the point. It's like, all right, Rio, will you just fuck her already? My God.
Or anyone for that matter.
Yeah, like this dude needs to have sex. He needs the mockery, right? He's hot shit. He can shoot bullets out of midair. He can walk into a warehouse, immediately spot all the booby traps, shoot them all in one revolver, and then just go, come here, baby. I mean, that was the first episode.
For some reason, that was the first episode. And for some reason, whenever he has a duel with someone, they always do the same thing. They don't fucking bunker down. They don't take a good stance and shoot. They always just leap forward and then shoot. Like, it feels a little... I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's the best way to go about doing things. But,
old-fashioned Western standoff,
so.
High noon, all the time.
I'm not the City Hunter, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Clearly,
yeah. I mean, we need to get those guys. I think I'm gonna message them.
Okay. All right,
I'm gonna message them and be like, "Hey guys, you boys at Mocha Replay, we need you on here for an episode." Not about City Hunter 2. That would be even better.
Not about City Hunter. Yes.
Have you guys seen XXX Holic?
Oh my God.
They do not have any contact information. Maybe they'll like plug their Twitter or something like @BowlingJD, where you can find Red Leaf Retrocast content every day, or Tori's YouTube channel, Anime Top Scholar.
Anime Top Scholar, where you will find such amazing content as haven't uploaded in over 2 months.
No, you're just picking your spots. Picking your spots.
Or my Twitter, Tori RLR, where you could read all about everything that I don't write on Twitter.
Phenomenal. All right.
I'm such a social media genius.
I always love when you listen to a podcast, they plug their Twitter, you go to their Twitter, and they posted like one thing in the last 4 months. Like, why did you bother?
Yeah, pretty much.
Come follow me on this channel that doesn't update anything.
Come follow me on Twitter. I promise I won't spam. I mean, yeah, I can tell you won't.
you don't do anything, in fact. All right. Okay, so I am pulling up all the amazing shows that I've watched and finished, and I will do quick. The goal is quick. I don't know how quick they'll actually be. Reviews and thoughts over, not full reviews. I don't got time for that shit. Over all these shows that I watched.
We're too efficient for that.
Way too efficient. We've already established that most efficient City Hunter podcast.
We're a City Hunter podcast now?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in 2023. I'm pretty sure most of our episodes are about City Hunter.
Well, yes, I agree, but at least compared to any other show, it's just, I don't know. I thought we were still a retroAnime podcast, but I guess that's changed. I think we're just City Hunter now. All right, cool.
Right. Okay. So, Tori. Sir.
Yes.
Going back to the fall of 2022, did you finish Blue Lock?
No, I never did.
Oh, how far did you get? Like halfway?
Not even. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things. I watch for a little bit. Stuff happens. I stop watching. And then we come back, and then it's the end of the season, and I was like, shit. Damn, time flies.
All right. Well, I can tell you, last weekend I ended up binging the entire second half of that show.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, and it's not the end. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's like a second season announced as well, isn't there?
I believe. Let's see. I mean,
so.
There should be. It's quite good. I ended up shockingly, the shonen whore that I am, I went 8 out of 10 on this show.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. There's a second season. Yes.
There's a second season.
It was in fact announced. Unknown.
Okay. All right. That does me no good.
Mm.
All right. What is with my anime list and all these cats that are just like fucking all over this thing right now?
Well, you see, JD, it's April 1st today.
That's all well and good. This is annoying.
Yeah, but it's April 1st today. It's the point.
I hate it. Okay, so
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, last we left off for Blue Lock, right? He was they had just finished like the 11v11, knockout round, and then they were going on to essentially like a singles type competition. And the way it works is you have to make a team of 3, and it goes 3v3. And if you win, you steal a player from the other team. If you lose, you go down to a 2v2 in which the same scenario play. And then when you get to the point where you're all alone, you're out of Blue Lock. Okay? Well, it's it begins with our main character and the crazy white-haired Dunagi from the last 11v11 game, and Chigiri, the guy who can dribble really well. He's got the monster inside him, okay? And they immediately challenge the top 3 ranked people in Blue Lock. And they lose, and it goes from there, and the goal is to get back to face them again. And that, of course, does happen. You re-meet some old rivals. Yeah, you re-meet some old rivals, learn a little bit of their backstories. And I do like how Blue Lock doesn't waste your time with tons of backstory. They just kind of give you a brief idea of their personality, not their sob story.
They too like efficiency, I see.
Yes, therefore Blue Lock must be pretty damn good. So the whole goal of the 3v3 is to eventually get a 5-person team and win, and then that'll get you on to yet another round, but you don't know what that round or goal would be. The conclusion of the season is they get to the 5v5, they win they win or lose an epic game, and then they have to face so the Federation is Blue Lock is not efficient. Taking a drink. Not efficient, not making money. Ooh, hit my mic. I hope that didn't kill you, Tori.
I don't know. It's just cutting out again. So
once again.
Yeah, but only when you stop talking and then you hit your mic and all that. So I don't know.
Okay, all right. We're good. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Yes. So, the Blue Lock needs to prove themselves, and the dude challenges the Federation that my Blue Lock team of all strikers can beat your under 20 squad. So they're going to compete to be the best 11 in Blue Lock to then face the under 20. This is the next season that they're setting up, and if they beat the under 20. They will make the under 20 squad for Japan. So that's what's happening there. I thought it was always straight to the point with having to level up during games and figure out your next evolution of you being a striker. And it just compounded on each other, and good rival standings. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. It's one of the standouts from the year. I think you should finish it, Tori.
Yeah, probably. I probably will at some point. But I mean, it sounds a little weird to me because, like, on one hand, it's kind of weird considering the fact that the whole thing was being like egotistical and selfish and shit like that. Why are we forming a team and also an 11 versus 11 of 11 strikers? You have to beat the under 20s to become part of the under 20. What?
Well, no, they'll just completely replace the
weird.
under 20.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, how are they going to determine who was the best of, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Boy, how would you feel to be like, you do all this to be a striker and then you're just the goalie on the under 20 squad?
Yeah, that's my point. It's like, goddamn, dude, fucking be the fucking Japan's best striker. Impossible challenge. You're forced to play goalie.
Yeah.
Like, all right, yeah, sure. Let me just fucking take the ball and dribble upfield and try to score every time. Like, what?
Just everyone is just de facto goalie at some point.
Yeah. So no, I don't know. That's just weird. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Blue Lock. It would have been a little interesting if it wasn't just focused on the whole striker thing, I guess, because I think that's going to be like a problem going forward. It's like, because football is at the end of the day a team game, so like trying to go through like the team game with still like that selfishness and everybody wants to be a striker, but everybody can play striker, so.
Well, okay, here's kind of the cool aspect. Even though they're all strikers, no matter what, they end up playing like a team anyways in some capacity. Maybe it's not the most traditional way. So that was a nice little tidbit that they always... I thought it was just like good sports storytelling when it was all said and done. I haven't really... I mean, I guess I could compare it to Haiku a little bit in that regard. But Haiku was very much power of friendship type stuff all the time. And this is always, fuck your friends, I'm going to score. Okay, so real quick, My Hero Academia 6th season. It's Deku kind of unlocking all his powers and freaking out because, all for, or one for all, or one for all. Yeah, one for all is like attacking him now, and good drama, a little over dramatic with the whole Deku feelings. We know Hickey doesn't really like My Hero Academia very much, and you're way over that, like years ago, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time, and I mean, considering like what I hear about the show, or rather the lack of how much I hear about the show, I feel like it feels like it's one of those things like people are kind of getting over it. It's like it's sort of run its course a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely feels
exactly super.
It definitely feels late stage Bleach kind of stuff when that was going on. It's like, okay, I think we kind of get the point. There is such a thing to me of when shonen becomes too overly powerful, and that inherently holds it back, because now
power creep and all that.
Right, yeah, and with Deku and his powers, he seems just way too overpowered for his character, personality. The show overall, I think, has taken a hit in that regard, even though there is some aspects of he still has this wild struggle, but we kind of we're not there yet, and I think it's taken too long to get there with how far he's progressing. I feel like
it's one of those things where it's like, the problem with this still being My Hero Academia, right? It's like he's still technically learning to be a hero, and I feel like
right.
It's one of those things. Like, we're getting to that point now where it's like, at this point, realistically speaking, we should be nearing the end, and he should be like actually making his way into like being a pro hero for real. Because then you could have had explained some of these like weird powers. Like, everybody seems way more powerful. Well, yeah, because they're not kids anymore. Like,
I mean, that's true.
You're entering the adult world and all of that. But it's like, I feel like because they still want to harp on that, like it's supposed to be My Hero Academia thing, right? It's like they're still in school. They still are training to be heroes. They're still there, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just it's sort of stretching itself a little too thin, and exactly in that regard.
Yeah, instead it's focusing on society breaking down, but then why is the school still operating, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just seems strange. All right, Kat, what are you doing here? All right, he's coming. I don't know.
What?
I went kind of he's wacky. There's, I don't know, I went like 6 or 7 out of 10. I mean, it was still like pretty good with the action, but
yeah,
it's kind of run its course. Vinland Saga, haven't finished yet. That's from this most recent season. Here's one.
It is, and it's 24 episodes, so it will continue. So you know,
The Eminence in Shadow is something that finished from fall 2022. This season in winter 2023. It's a 20-episode show. Tori, this show was straight ass. It was terrible. It was really bad.
Damn.
I gave it a 3 out of 10 when it was all done.
Damn. I heard a lot of people like that show.
Can you guess what this show has on my anime list?
An 8 point something.
Yes, 8.36. Yeah. It's just below Blue Lock and My Hero Academia.
Yeah, no, like I said, I was like, I'm pretty sure people like this show. And that's like what you said. You get it's like, yeah,
baffled.
It's been 8 something.
I'm baffled. Well, okay, here's what's not baffling. There's a lot of very beautiful women in the show. Mm-hmm. Very much a harem, okay? And there's some good fight scenes, but the storytelling in this show is among the worst. It's so, like, when the show first came out, we did kind of impressions over it, or at least I did. It's like so wacky and over the top. You're like, I'm intrigued to watch this, but there's no way this is any good. Like, the character is just so overpowered, so ridiculous, and so over the top, and just like trope comedy heavy from start to finish. Yeah. But yeah, it's like as I was going through the season, and I see the score and people talking about it, and I go on the various anime sites. It's just like front and center. It's so popular, contrary to its quality. So yeah, 3 out of 10.
I'd never even bothered picking it up in the first place because I looked at it and read it, and I was like, that doesn't sound like my cup of tea. And then everybody just kept going like, you need to watch it. It's so good. And I'm like,
It's not. It's not, Tori. City Hunter's way better for sure.
Now, of course, come on, I was about to say everything's better than City Hunter. Reverse that, the other way around.
Reverse that statement. Jeez.
City Hunter's better than everything else. Almost.
So Nier Automata version 1.1a, it resumed, but it's not done yet. So I guess the loose thoughts would be, we kind of know what the show is at this point. It's just the game kind of in free-fall, straightforward mode. Like by episode 5, we're already discovering who was the what was it was like 2A, I think that was her name, the rogue android that went off.
Yep.
Like, we're already at that point, and in the game, if you played the game, that's like fucking 2 full playthroughs through, 20 hours in.
Wait, we're that late? We're like fucking the end of like when shit's going down by episode 5? It's not the fucking forest?
So they're kind of jumping around in weird ways in how they're telling the story, and they're interconnecting all these different routes that you end up taking to get to that point.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like we haven't gotten to shit hitting the fan, but we're already like telling parts of the story after that you'd play in the game of what happened. So instead of going through these different routes and then backtracking to fill in the gaps, it's already filling in those gaps as it's telling it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like too fast, so it's hard to keep up with. Like if I hadn't played the game, I'd be pretty lost watching it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing I've said the entire time since I started watching as well. It's like, I would not recommend anybody to watch this without having played the game. Like, you should absolutely play the game. The game's amazing. But yeah, no, that sounds a little weird because, like, I don't mind it. Like, I like the first 2 episodes that I watched because it's like a little bit like it's the sort of thing. It's the start of the game, like I remember it.
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
obviously faster, and then like with a little bit of creative liberty as well taken, just to sort of like emphasize some points and showing the robots sort of the non-violent robots for that. Those sort of covering higher purpose and shit like that in a different light and whatnot. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's interesting. That's sort of shit that like sort of the game tries to blindside you with a little bit, because it's like the whole allegory for you wearing a fucking blindfold,
right,
and shit like that. But like, so it's like I get it. They're not trying to be that like sneaky about it, but that's I respect that. But yeah, that's kind of weird if they was just suddenly pull out like the fucking like because with 2A at the end of the game, like that's like when fucking 2B gets infected and shit.
So
what?
The show during a 2A like flashback of where and how she got to the point where she is, shows them in this underground facility, and as soon as they take the blindfolds off, they kind of get infected that way. They show a way in how to get the infection out, but maybe it's too late unless they're being bombarded by all these robots, blah blah blah. So there's still, I'm only on episode 8, so there's 4 episodes left, but I feel like it definitely feels very, very fast that it should be this weird like 15, 16 number and not 12. The way they're telling the story. Okay. Let's see. I already mentioned Vinland Saga. What else I got here? So I watched some very terrible shows.
Yeah, you're watching seasonal anime. What do you expect?
Yeah. Jokes. Inspector Season 2. If you listen to my impressions, I said that it's definitely more Inspector with like less interest. And the biggest fall I have for Inspector Season 2 is, so Season 1 had a unified theme of trying to destroy this. It had a singular story element to it of Iron Beam Nanase or whatever, and it was a constant detective work of how to get rid of that one entity. Season 2 is much more episodic. There's two multi-episode arcs. One's good, and I thought another was pretty bad, where it totally took the whole spirits elements mostly just totally out of it. And then it just started to be some detective show, and it's just a lot of rambling dialogue. Did not enjoy it. It's still like Inspector with how they go about their business, but it's not what makes that universe like interesting or enjoyable. Because I thought the way it started, it was going to be so much about this like snow spirit in the mountains with this one character, and then they would wrap where the main antagonist would be involved, and instead it was just very separatist to each other, and that ended in like 2 or 3 episodes rather than a stretched out story. That was disappointing. I only went 5 out of 10 for the season, for that show.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I watched the first season. Well, actually, I dropped the first season.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, the show itself isn't that bad. It's not like I was like, oh, I hate the show, it's awful. But it's like, at a certain point, it just kind of came to that point. It's like, I don't really look forward to watching the next episode. And at that point, it's like, why am I even watching? So, yeah.
So here's another one. This is one of the worst things I've seen in quite some time. It's called Adventurers Who Don't Believe in Humanity Will Save the World. Okay?
Yes.
So the first 2 episodes is about this group of people getting together because they've been betrayed in some way. Their life's been fucked. And they don't trust anybody. And they're going to make this adventure group and try to make money, and then just do all their hobbies. Like, one guy's like an idol dude, another just likes going to restaurants all the time. Another is loves going to basically strip clubs, and another gambles because their life has taken a turn. Well, they only do that aspect of it for like the first 2 episodes, and the rest is just this boring, mundane, nothing happening, shitty show. 2 out of 10. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's fucking awful. I can't believe I wasted my time with it. I thought surely it will like go back to what the show started, and it just never did.
Ha!
I was totally
That's
fooled.
what you thought.
The only reason why I finished the show is because the day it came out was the day I'd like come home from work, and all right, this is on. I'll throw it on, and then I would throw on another show that came on, and that was just 40 minutes of just decompression after work. Don't have to like pay attention, and I'm just going, oh fuck, I finished it. Oh, what the hell's wrong with me? Felt generally disgusted with myself.
Good.
Yeah. Now that on that like similar day, there was a show called Spirits Monogatari.
Yeah.
It's about a like a, I can't say spirit detective. That's too Yu Yu Hakusho, but he's like a spirit enforcer. I guess his job is to essentially control or destroy spirits, and these spirits are like, let's say that it's essentially objects that have enough like force into it that they become a spirit entity that looks human, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Decent little action scenes. It's fine, like the interactions between characters, and it's very melancholy is the way I described it. So like I can't say it's great, but I was like I was in the right mood to be watching. I went 6 out of 10, and I'm probably actually gonna watch the next season when it comes out this summer.
Wait, it's got another season?
Yeah, it does not finish. It continues on. There is an overlying goal for a lot of the main characters, which is nice. So it gives you a reason to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Kaina of the Snow Sea. I talked about the impressions. It just ends so prematurely. I thought there was so much more they could have done with this this just world where water is scarce, trees are up. There's war between nations trying to fight for the very scarce water. They discover there's still a big tree left behind that has a lot of water, but they discover that they have to go over the Mariana Trench to go over it, and they just don't have the technology. Well, turns out people from the past built the thing that they need, but they don't have the ship that they need. That's kind of how it more or less ends, and I guess they eventually get there. They don't really show that part, but they just kind of concentrate on the war aspect of it, which is okay. But like, there's a scene which was terrible near the end where they have like the map, okay? They find a map that shows them where the big fucking tree is that they need to go. And the woman, like, so the town is being bombarded by like fireballs and shit. They have all this old technology, and a person is like stuck in a burning building, and she gets in the room, and there's fire, and then the person's like burning, like actually on fire, their clothes, and her instinct is to go, I need something to cover this, uses the map, and then it burns up, and she's like, oh shit. Sorry.
Yes, of course. I'm sure the map was very effective at putting out fire as well.
I mean, for the person, but then it immediately like causes fire because it's old tapestry.
No way.
Yeah. I'm like, 5 or 6 out of 10. I thought the show was just fine. Very much the same. I wouldn't even say I was very calming like Monogatari was, but it served its purpose, I guess.
I guess. All right, so it was very bad. Got it.
Trigun Stampede, and I think that's the last one that I have here. And if not, then whatever. Oh, no, there's one more show. Trigun Stampede. I think it's a little overhated. It's certainly way different than the original show that we've covered here on this podcast. Way different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the characters don't have the same backstories, it seems. They're very much different kind of motivations. It feels like a totally different show, just with some of the main characters from the original in the late 90s. I guess this follows the original manga more, I think.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, because I've always heard that the original show like didn't really do that at all. And so now we have like two completely different Trigun shows. And the original, I think, was 24 episodes or something? This one's only 12. And it's kind of done. There is so much more they could have done with this show, but I can't call it bad. I think it's like pretty good, actually. It's like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair as well, like, yes, the original Trigun is like 24 episodes, but if I'm not mistaken, there's like filler episodes in there as well. Like,
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of episodic
even more
filler.
so.
Yeah. This cuts all of that out, for sure. And it concentrates only on the story, but even so, they still keep some of these almost side story episodes in this show with certain characters, but they serve a purpose to explaining a background or an important event over why these things are happening. I've really enjoyed Trigun. I think the animation's going to throw a lot of people off for sure because it's by Studio Orange, the little CGI studio. But that was pretty good. And then finally the finish of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon 4? You remember how I said that first Cour at the end of last year was like fantastic. You remember this?
Yep.
This Cour 2, I think, is even better because it expands on everything that we know, and it's seemingly the entire season is Belle and the elf chick in the lower dungeons fighting for their fucking lives. And it's like they barely survive, and they're just getting more and more beaten up. It's just total despair the entire time. It's fucking awesome. It's just nonstop. Just, are they going to live? How are they going to get out of it for 11 episodes? I thought it's if you're invested in this tropey little harem show of traveling through dungeons, like, it lays off on a lot of the comedy. It's not there. It's just serious from start to finish. And the light novel that this season covered is like the most successful by like leaps and bounds, and it's totally easy to see why. I highly recommend it. It had like, I went 9 out of 10. I'm probably insane on that, but obviously you'd have to have full context of the show up to this point, and then when you watch just this one Cour, I can't imagine someone who's made it this far into the show and can't see this as the best part of the entire series.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I like that Machi. I think I've only seen up to season 3. I don't think I ever started season 4. But yeah, I definitely got to go back and check that out as well. Cause
I think okay, so season 3 was about kind of the talking monsters.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
You can totally skip that and start at season 4. Because you know what happens.
I've already seen it.
Yeah,
I've already seen it.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
skip
like,
anything. I just have to start season 4.
Yeah. You have to watch season 4. It's so worth it.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's something I got to do then. Whenever I get time.
I speak. Obviously, I speak very highly of it. If you've made it this far, I just can't imagine someone who's made it this far in the show watches season 4 and goes, that was all right.
There's always someone.
I'd have to meet them because I just can't even like fathom it right now. That's how much I loved watching these two Cours.
You are not real.
I'm not real. Okay. All right, let me play this Mokari drop here. We can finish this fucking show off. Here we go.
More funny!
Okay. Tori, tell me about City Hunter 91, aka City Hunter 4.
Well, what can I tell you about City Hunter 91 that we don't already know? It's more City Hunter, literally. Ryo Saiba is back as the City Hunter, a sweeper private detective, in brackets, because, working on the streets of Tokyo. He and sidekick Kaori Makimura are hired to solve the problems of desperate people. When Ryo is not using his sharp shooting skills against bad guys, he's aiming his sights on pretty ladies. Kaori uses a giant anti-etchy hammer to make sure he behaves. And yeah, it's more that. It's just more of that. Literally.
Yeah, a little bit more comedy. They're really stressing out the comedy more and more.
Yeah. Like, all things considered, I'd say, like, I didn't dislike this season. Like, I don't dislike City Hunter at all, but it's like one of those things where it's like, part of me wishes there was a little more, like, interesting story. I don't want to say story progression because City Hunter isn't exactly a lot of story, but like something like I wish there was some more kind of big events. Again, this for being like the last season, it's kind of devoid of anything really that we haven't seen before. Yeah, the girl who came back was like, I want to get revenge on Ryo for he killed my dad. Like, yeah, I guess that was interesting. But also technically not entirely new. We've already seen that before as well. So it's like, it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I'm glad it's only 13 episodes. If it would have been 50 more episodes of this, oh god.
No, yeah, and like you said, when we watch episodic shows like this, and we always kind of harkened on this in the first two seasons, where we liked more and more of the multi-episodes stories because they were interconnected to each other. It gave us a little bit more depth and time to learn about what was going on with these certain characters. We wish for some more development, and yeah, there's some more feeling development between Ryu and Kaori, and like I kind of dropped joking at the top of the podcast here, I wish they'd just fuck already. Like, we're at the point where they've been going around for so long. They're more broke than ever. They never have work. It's always the same. They're hungry. They're starving. One person comes along. It's the same jokes over and over. And when I was watching this, I go, I don't hate these episodes, but they're clearly out of ideas. They just don't know how to progress this show in any sort of efficient manner at this point. They don't know how to progress any of the characters. They don't want to progress any of the characters because then that would kind of quote unquote finish the show. Because you always see that in shows where the love triangle or cross lovers where they don't admit they will get together. I mean, it's not just anime. It's kind of any like sitcom show really, where once they finally get together, unless you have the point or story progression of what are they going to do after they're together, because the whole interest in watching these things is will they, won't they, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, yeah, although in this case it's like there's a little more to it than that. It's not just that, but yeah, no. But I mean, I also has that problem is like this was, as we've seen even way after this was a very popular manga running in, I think it was Shonen Jump, right? Should be Shonen Jump.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah. We can easily look
right,
that
so
up. Hold on.
I'm doing that right now. Yeah, Shonen Jump Weekly, right? So I'm pretty sure it's also suffering from that. It's like, it's a popular manga, popular show. Don't end it. Don't do it. Okay, but like, we don't really have much going on anymore. Yeah, but it's still popular. Don't end it. Like, okay.
Well, here we go.
So,
the manga
like, I guess
ran
we're
from
just shooting the shit.
Yeah, the manga ran from February 26th, 85 to November 19th, 91. And the show ended, at least the season was from April 91 to October 91. So the show ended essentially with the manga. So,
yeah,
what? I'll give a weird comparison example. In Urusei Yatsura, which was another manga from the 80s and show that went down, there were always episodes where Ataru and Lum would like take another step in their relationship, and those are like the best and most remembered episodes. And I can't say I got any of that in City Hunter. Weirdly, I wanted kind of the same thing. Like, are Kaori and Ryu ever going to like have a deep, passionate kiss? Are they ever going to admit their feelings for each other? They clearly do. Or is there going to be some third character introduced, like, I don't know, Mickey or Psycho, finally going to kind of step in and do something themselves? And it just never happened. It's an episodic show through and through. I mean, I'll just go through some of the titles here that we watched, and Tori, we're just going to play like a word association game. Because we haven't done this yet, and I think this is going to be kind of fun. I'm going to give you the title of the episode, and you will just give me a quick, like, thought. First thing that comes to your mind. Okay?
Okay.
Top of your head. Episode 1. Big revival of the funny pair, the beauty fallen from the sky.
Yeah, I mean, like, the big revival, goddamn. One thing that pops into my head. I obviously know what you're talking about. It's the fucking plane episode.
Yeah.
So it's the first thing that pops into my mind is obviously a plane. And the fucking just kind of like, and that's the thing, right? This is the good part about City Hunter. It's got things that, like, it's funny in the context, like, even in just how silly it is. A girl literally just crashes her plane into Ryo's apartment in the city, just as one does, you know? Obviously, there's more to it than that, but like, there's a reason for it. It's not that she just literally just came in through the window, although she did just come in through the window. But the thing that always gets me with those things is just kind of how funny it is. Was like a plane literally just crashed into a building, and no one gives a shit. Not a single person. Like, Ryo and Kaori obviously cares because they live there, but like. Police show up? Nah. Firefighters? Nope. Anyone fucking coming to fix some things? Nah. Nothing. Nobody cared.
Yeah, and like the building is somewhat destroyed after it. They're falling through the floor. I mean, the thing that sticks out in my memory of that episode is when Ryu and Kaori are like sitting in the destroyed apartment building, and they have a blanket and they're just like next to each other, and they're having their dumb dialogue of, "It's a good thing I don't see you as a woman, Kaori." Ha 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 ha. And she goes, "Can't you have a little mokery for me?" Come on, just maybe a little, a smidge.
Conversation. I mean, like, there are things like that scattered throughout, like a little Cinderella story was at episode 10, right? Where it's like, kind of, where it's like, I don't like this. I want him to look at me for like who I am and not just like, because my friend that I haven't seen in like 10 years showed up and dressed me up to look like somebody else. Right, shit like that, and it's like I understand that, and also there are some episodes in here that's good. Like, was it at the end, one of the episode 11, I think it is. Yeah, like with the Psycho, that little like reuniting with somebody from her past kind of thing. It's like there are small things scattered in here and there, but at the grand scheme of things, it's like it's very little. I guess is the problem. It's not
not a lot, not enough substance to it.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because like it's one of the problems I had with Cat's Eye, which is also by Tsukasa Hojo, which the manga he did before. But at least there, it's like it comes from a little different scenario, right? Because it's like the two main characters, the two main characters, are in that they're already in a relationship, right? And it's kind of like. For them, it's more like hiding, or not hiding. She knows that he's a police officer, obviously, but he doesn't know that she's a thief.
Right.
So, and the thief that he is trying to catch. So, that's like the interesting thing. But even there, they have some stuff, and even though that also ends with like, was it amnesia and forgetting everything, and then like getting
Well,
stuff.
okay.
But it's like at least there's
yeah.
something coming back there. Like they come back to something. You sort of try. They at least by ending, it tried to tie stuff together in the end. That's only in the manga. I haven't read the City Hunter manga. So I don't know. Maybe there is something in like this to end off the manga as well. I have no idea. But in the anime, no.
Can we just buy the last 2 mangas and just see what happens?
You can, yeah. I'm not going to stop you.
All right, let's see. Let's go to Right Stuff. See if they exist. Like volume, what would it be? 34 and 35? Did I say there was 35 volumes?
I can look that up really fast. 35 indeed.
Okay, so let's see if there's 34 and 35 volumes of City Hunter available at Right Stuff. That's Right Stuff Shop Anime. RIGHTSTUF anime.com. Haha. Free plugs. Pay us now. Pay us all the monies.
Pay us everything.
City Hunter. Let's see. What comes up besides accepting cookies? Damn it. Okay. So there's all the Blu-rays that I could get of City Hunter to have a City Hunter collection on my amazing shelf. No manga available. It's literally just the anime.
I'm looking at some stuff right now, and I can definitely see the end is. So yeah, the show definitely never got to the end of the manga.
Interesting. All right. So
that'd be interesting to see how different they are.
That might be worth pirating at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm seeing the cover on the manga here. It's a nice looking chick there with blue hair. I think that's his sister that was originally killed, right? Or Kaori's sister, right?
Could be.
Who died at the start?
Well, at the start, that was Kaori's brother. Oh, or you mean the start of this season?
No. I meant the very start. I couldn't remember who was like. How did Kaori get in there in the first place? It was her brother who died.
Yeah, her brother died.
Okay.
Yeah.
The manga picture threw me off my game. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get back to the word association here, since we can't buy the manga. Farewell, Kaori orders to capture City Hunter.
Farewell, Kaori orders to capture City Hunter.
It was the detective that moved in and get some fucking drunk on sake at a like bars and cabaret clubs.
That's funny as well, because it's like, oh no, I invited a detective into our house. I wonder what Ryo's going to do about it. He is just so not concerned about it.
No, he's like, whatever.
Gets chased around, or tries to fucking hide around, see where he's ghost. And he takes him to the fucking gay bar.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Combination of puzzlement and recovery. Memories are a distant light.
Memories are a distant combination of puzzlement and recovery. I don't remember this episode, actually. That's bad.
Love is also an A license. The beautiful wheelman visiting the store.
Wheelman. That's the escape artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's an escape artist.
Fear Shinjuku Ghost Story, the wandering soul of a beautiful woman. Yeah.
And that's the woman who died in this show.
Yeah. Well, she was murdered, and her soul is going into her twin sister.
Yep.
Farewell, Requiem, your visage. Once again. Your visage.
Farewell, Requiem, your visage. Once again. That's the second part of that, then.
Yes.
Could be. Right? Because that's when the fucking piano... Right. Her sister has the piano fucking performance for absolutely no one, but...
Yeah, just no one there. That's fine. The Hayato Ijuin's Extremely Peaceful Day. My god, that was hard to say.
The one-off episode, the fucking cat side cafe opening with fucking... Or an episode with Umibosu.
Revenge of the Beautiful Woman, the Sorrowful Blues of Ryo.
Sorrowful Blues of Ryo. That should be the That should be the revenge one, yeah. The fucking chick that, like I said.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
The one who came back, yeah.
The place where Gunsmoke dies.
Dad.
City Hunter dies at dawn.
City Hunter does that. Yeah, that's the second part of that episode where, once again,
showdown at the OK Corral.
They sure like putting that back where it's like, yay, City Hunter's gonna die this time. It's like, yeah, sure. Although there were some cool things there with the
that was probably my favorite episode.
Him losing his same, right? Because like him losing his eyesight and whatnot, that was kind of interesting.
My love for tonight, only Cinderella story in the city. We talked about that one.
Yeah, talked about that one.
A triggered covered with scratches. The detective Psycho loved. Talked about that one.
Also talked about that one. Yep.
Memories of the necklace incident. Rio, a bad girl in Makimura. So she's back.
Recall. Yeah, I was recalling that girl from before with Ryo and Makoto's brother, who was like before they got to know each other as well. This girl who was just using Ryo to to get closer to this prince, so that she could eventually, because he learns her seeing a news broadcast of this princess now who was divorced her husband, the prince of some nation, and is now just taking everything for himself.
A lot of princesses and noble society really comes into.
Yeah, there is. But this one was interesting. This was interesting since it sort of like calls back to a time like before, right? City Hunter starts. That was a nice little spin on it. I like that.
And then Lullaby Requiem, the young nobleman who came from a distant country, kind of a continuation there.
Yeah, that's that was like the Austrian dude, the like hitman from Austria who was like half Japanese and was dying.
Yeah. So a few good episodes in here that really stand out. If I think, like I said, I think they clearly ran out of like good ideas and good stories to tell without the want or need to continue progressing anything. Like clearly there was never any of that desire, and that's a big difference that we don't really see anymore today, where you get these episodic shows in the like 80s and 90s and it's like that's okay, while today everything's got to be interconnected, a continuation until you, like in this case where I'm saying they ran out of ideas. When they run out of ideas in like Attack on Titan or some show like that, where things just get super convoluted and crazy, you lose the plot so bad that what I'm feeling in the case of City Hunter is, I think they could have finished something up in a satisfying way because they clearly have the option, but they just chose not to do that. While in a lot of anime today, you're like, oh, thank God it's over. They were really jumping the shark way too much at the end. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is one thing that you wish City Hunter would have done? What is the thing you wish you would have seen now that we're like 140 episodes into this series?
The thing that I wish that it would have done, that is hard. Like, because the thing is, City Hunter has already delivered on a lot of the things that I wanted from it.
Sure. It's
given me a lot of the fun. It's given me a lot of that older style comedy. It's given me some nice action moment. It lets the Ryo shine through every once in a while of reminding us that he is in fact a badass and not just a perv. But he can be both. So it's hard to say
what a way to live.
What a way to live. So it's hard to say like what I would have wanted from the show that I didn't get. The one thing I would have wanted that I didn't get is like, considering the fact that this ended up being the last season, I would have liked to see some sort of like big plot points to hit on at the end to like wrap things up and like give it like a satisfying conclusion. Because so far, this sort of goes down the same problem that I have with Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye does the exact same thing. It just ends. There is no ending. You didn't reach any sort of end point. You just got to the final episode. In Cat's Eye's case, that final episode is something completely different and very weird. But in this case, it's kind of just like, okay, and here is yet another episodic story about this other killer. The end. Goodbye forever. It's like, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you're just done.
Yeah.
Over.
It's like it's a little unsatisfying. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, okay, yeah, so much for that. I invested all this time into City Hunter, and that's what you're gonna leave me on. And yeah, I know. There's more City Hunter. You have the special sequel thing.
Yeah, we have the film
the Secret Service
357 Magnum we could watch. So we're not like totally done, but
Secret Service came out in '96, right? Like there's still stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just like, and I feel like that's kind of been the case with the 2 shorter seasons of City Hunter as well. It's like, it's just like, yeah, it feels like they just kind of tried to keep it going, but like, not really. It's like, yeah, okay, people like this, so let's just put out more episodes. It's like, yeah, what should we do in those episodes? Yeah.
I mean, shit,
we'll figure it out.
A City Hunter movie came out in 2019.
I know.
Yeah.
They're a long time. So yeah, there's another one as well.
Well, okay,
it hasn't come out yet.
No, but just for context, after this series, we are going to do the spinoff. But after the series, they still did 3 movies in the 90s, 96, 97, 99. We never covered. I think there's 2 of them that were in the 80s, or 3. Let's see. There was, I'm just going to list them here as we finish up. We got 357 Magnum in 89. After City Hunter 3, 2 movies came out, only 40 minutes apiece. Bay City Wars in 1990. Oh, 2 movies came out in the same day. Oh, that's interesting. $1 Million Conspiracy came out in 90. And then what I just talked about. So there's still some content we could do for some City Hunter. Maybe we're not done, but definitely need a break.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to these episodic things, it's like generally it's not a good idea to just sort of rush it and just be like, yeah, let's watch all of it in a short time. You will usually feel it.
Yeah, no,
it's not necessarily made for that.
I think we're both kind of feeling it at this point, but luckily 13 episodes is very doable. It's not a big deal. Just kind of pop it on and put it on the background. You're like, yep, that is more Rio and his mini trying to hit on women. That would not fly in 2023.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it sits in that, like, strange place where it's like, when you get to this point of the show, it's like, yeah, I watch it. I watch, like, a little bit of it, and then I just sort of stop and give up on it there, and don't really watch anymore. Like, a couple of episodes here and there. Don't really care. Not paying attention a whole lot to everything that's going on, because it's like, you sort of catch the jokes here and there, and it's like, okay, and I remember we've done this before, and we've done that before, and it's like, is it good? I wouldn't necessarily say it's good. Is it terrible? I mean, I'm still enjoying myself, so it's not like I hate it, but it's definitely run its course.
Well, my final score, I feel the same way I did at the end of City Hunter 3, where rather than just repeat yourself, I'll just say the score. 5 out of 10 in terms of City Hunter. I feel like I'm comparing it to itself at this point. It just feels like average City Hunter. So 5 out of 10. Just kind of right there in the middle. Yeah.
I think I actually gave this a better score than I gave City Hunter 3. I think I gave this a 6. Mostly just because, I don't know, I enjoyed some of the episodes a little bit more in this one, but like, still, it's negligible at best. It's like, yeah, I found some enjoyment in some of the episodes, and then the rest of them are like, they exist. I don't dislike seeing Ryo running around chasing women. I've watched the show for over 100 episodes, so if I did dislike it, I wouldn't have been there. But it's like, it's nothing new. It's nothing special. It's just more. So yeah, 6 out of 10. It's all right. We're kind of in the 5 out of 10. Something like that.
We're in the same spot there. So our next episode is your pick, Tori. What are we doing?
Next time, we are doing a show called Deno Coil. It's from the 2000s, actually.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 2007 is like, that has to be the newest show we've done in a long time.
When did... No, we did Mononoke at the end of last year. Wasn't that... Well, I guess it would be before... That would be before 07.
Mononoke? No, it was 2007 as well.
That was?
July 2007, and... Okay, yeah, so that Mononoke is the oldest one, still.
Or you mean the youngest one?
Yeah, the youngest one. I mean, like the newest one we have ever done.
Well, the oldest one
is by like 3 months.
Yeah. Well, the oldest one we've done is still our first episode at Ashita no Joe, right? We haven't done anything from the 60s, right? Correct?
I think so. Although we could change that, but
we
stuff
could
from the
change
60s
that.
is kind of hard. Stuff from the 60s is kind of hard to find. Is the problem?
The original Astro Boy. Let's go.
Yeah, the original Astro Boy. That's like partially lost, but or
So, yeah,
maybe we watched some.
Yeah.
Maybe we watched some. I don't know. What's the? I forget the name. Goddamn. Maybe watch some Doraemon.
Oh.
Doraemon only has a lot of lost episodes. One of which was only partially found by a couple of seconds, which, funnily enough, is actually in a fucking porn video.
What?
It's on it's in the background. Yeah, a
No
couple of seconds
way.
of one of the lost episodes of Doraemon is in the background of a porn video.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love that. Okay. Well, that does it for this episode. Somehow we stretched an hour out of City Hunter 91 review time. Pretty cool.
I mean, a lot of it happened before we started talking about City Hunter.
But it's still like a whole episode. But Tori, it's been fun.
It is.
Guys,
Yes.
see you next time.
Peace.